Louisiana's looming execution, a question of humanity and legality. On Tuesday, Louisiana stands poised to carry out its first execution in 15 years, a grim milestone shrouded in controversy and ethical quandaries. The state plans to use nitrogen gas, a method condemned by critics as inhumane and strikingly at odds with the very laws designed to protect animals within its borders. This planned execution of 46-year-old Jesse Hoffman, convicted of the 1996 rape and murder of advertising executive Mary Elliott, throws a harsh spotlight on the deeply flawed and ethically problematic landscape of capital punishment in the United States. Hoffman's fate hangs precariously in the balance, awaiting a potential last-minute reprieve from the U.S. Supreme Court. The method itself, nitrogen hypoxia, raises immediate concerns. While proponents argue it offers a more humane alternative to lethal injection, the reality painted by recent executions in Alabama casts serious doubt on this claim. Alabama's experience with nitrogen executions, involving 4 prisoners in recent months, paints a deeply disturbing picture. Eyewitness accounts consistently report visible signs of distress, far from the peaceful, painless death proponents claim. Kenneth Smith, for instance, reportedly exhibited violent shaking, writhing, and convulsions while forced to breathe pure nitrogen through a mask. Similarly, Alan Miller's execution was marked by pronounced shaking and trembling for approximately 2 minutes, starkly contradicting the supposed painless nature of the process. These accounts paint a harrowing scene of prolonged suffering and raise serious questions about the efficacy and ethical implications of nitrogen gas as a method of execution. The irony of Louisiana's chosen method is particularly striking. The state's own laws prohibit the use of nitrogen gas for euthanizing cats and dogs, adhering to the American Veterinary Medical Association's AVMA guidelines. The AVMA explicitly mandates that nitrogen should only be used on animals already rendered unconscious through sedation. This glaring contradiction, a method deemed too inhumane for animals yet deemed acceptable for humans, highlights the deeply inconsistent and morally questionable nature of the state's actions. The juxtaposition of legal protections for animals and the planned use of a similarly cruel method on a human underscores a profound ethical inconsistency within the justice system. Furthermore, the procurement of the nitrogen itself exposes another layer of complexity. Last year, The Guardian revealed that 3 major U.S. medical-grade nitrogen manufacturers, Airgas, Air Products, and Matheson Gas, actively blocked their products from being used in executions. These companies, recognizing the ethical implications and potential for suffering, took proactive steps to prevent their nitrogen from falling into the hands of correctional departments in death penalty states. This corporate intervention reflects a growing societal unease with capital punishment and the increasingly questionable methods employed in its implementation. It underlines a broader societal shift in understanding of humane treatment, even extending to the limitations of the death penalty itself. The upcoming execution in Louisiana is not merely a legal matter. It's a profound ethical and humanitarian crisis. The chosen method raises serious concerns about its efficacy and whether it constitutes cruel and unusual punishment, violating the 8th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The stark contrast between the state's laws protecting animals and its planned use of nitrogen gas for execution underscores a moral inconsistency that demands urgent attention. The potential for prolonged suffering, as evidenced by Alabama's experience, further intensifies the ethical dilemma. The actions of major nitrogen suppliers refusing to participate in executions reflect a growing societal awareness of the inherent cruelty and ethical complexities surrounding capital punishment. The case of Jesse Hoffman serves as a potent reminder of the ongoing debate surrounding the death penalty, its inherent flaws, and the crucial need for a more humane and ethically sound approach to justice. As Louisiana prepares to carry out this execution, the world watches, questioning the morality and legality of a state-sanctioned act that clashes so sharply with its own laws and the evolving understanding of humane treatment. The looming execution is not just about one man's fate. It's a reflection of a deeply troubled and ethically challenging system. It forces a critical examination of the very foundation of capital punishment and its compatibility with a society that increasingly values compassion and humane treatment, even for those convicted of heinous crimes. The question remains, can a state, claiming to uphold justice, justify employing a method deemed too inhumane for its own animals?